Hey everyone, Action here! How are you guys doing? So today we'll be starting off a brand new playthrough as the Unyielding Hive. Yesterday I launched a poll on our YouTube channel asking you guys what type of empire you want to see next. Most of you guys chose the Progenitor Hive following the galactic hypothermia path, which is the new crisis. I mean, I haven't played that, so we'll be trying it together, and this is a first time playing Hive in the channel, and also a Progenitor one, which is, I mean, kinda cool. It has some unique features. So talking about the build, our goal here will be to ascend as quickly as possible into the biological ascension, and after that we'll try to maximize our productivity in order to fully conquer the galaxy. Once the galaxy is conquered, we can do whatever we want and we can turn all the worlds to ashes. However, the AI will be significantly strong in this game, we'll be setting their aggressiveness to high, and we will be removing their scaling cost, so they will be extremely deadly from the start. On top of that, we are gonna be playing against the 25 times crisis at the earliest date possible, which is at 2250, which is 50 years earlier than the regular mid-game, to be honest, and we'll be playing against all crisis. I don't know if the crisis will be able to take us out before we can destroy the galaxy, but that we'll have to see. Now, talking about the build, our goal with the build is to maximize unity production, therefore our civics is gonna do just that. Memorialist is currently one of the strongest civics if you want to rush unity, just because the chronicle drones produce stability and a lot of unity for us. On top of that, you start off with the Sanctuary of Repose, which basically is a building that gives us half a unity per manual drone, not manual drone, maintenance drone, I'm sorry. And if you combine that with natural neural network, that gives us plus 0.25 unity, you are almost at 1 unit at the start of the game, on top of some physics and other research. Our traits are gonna be thermophile, since we are this lovely infernal thing, the Kuchu. We are also hive-minded, obviously, and we have this trait, the PYROCLASTIC channeling. It is quite fun. You get plus 10% pop growth at the cost of only 1 point, although it is only on volcanic worlds, so it won't be spammable across the whole galaxy. We also have traditional, giving us more unity from jobs, and charismatic, because charismatic nowadays they buff the maintenance drone's efficiency, which will have a ton in the early game. We'll also be unruly, because in the beginning of the game that doesn't really matter, and later on we can reform out of it, just reforming our population. So our ruler is gonna be an official with principled. Yeah, we wanna have a stronger economy in the early game, pretty much that. Our origin, I don't know if you are familiar with that, Commander, but the Progenitor Hive used to be very strong. Nowadays it's still viable, I guess. You have the spawning pools, which pretty much just spawn drones. Also have the offspring nest. Now, whenever we set foot on a new planet, you'll see that we have to build this offspring stuff. Whenever we build a fleet, we'll need an offspring ship to follow along. So we'll have pretty much to babysit the other drones. We'll have like a mega drone that babysits the other drones, and that's how the build works. So without further ado, let's get into the game settings. So here you can copy everything if you want to replicate this gameplay. Yeah, everything's set to maximum. Scaling difficulty, let's set up to off. AI aggressive to high, and everything here is normal. Oh, just the end game. Yeah, let's push that a little back. Yeah, perfect day to have an end game. Okay, that will be extremely challenging, but let's do that. My command calls out for 5,000 commanders to replenish our ranks after the recent losses. Our navy needs you, Commander, to help us fight the countless enemies that threatens our own existence. Enlist today and be a part of something greater. Okay, now since we have the soul start, we can just rush the Alpha Centauri, which is nearby and has a size 13 volcanic world. That's a pretty bad start. We can have some technologies now, doesn't really matter. We can research this one and focus on our economy and tech. On our capital, you'll see that we have these lovely offspring drones that produces us a little bit of pops, and they are required on every single one of our colonies. So we go ahead, set up our diplomatic stance to isolationist, giving us more monthly unity. Also change the production policy to manufacturing, which will make our complex drones a little bit better. Then we go here on the capital, and you see that we don't have any needs for all of these resources. So our maintenance drones produce a lot of resources. We can just unemploy all the jobs that we won't not use at the moment in order to maximize their production. So let's see if we can just deactivate all of the hunter seekers. Nope, not all of them. Just grab a little bit more. Let's see. We ideally want to stay below 25% 50% deviancy, because when we do that, the negative events will not fire. So that's perfect. We also do not need that much trade. So you guys are gone. Then I think we can stay with the alloy production to build up starbases and more colony ships. All of these brain drones, we have no use for them at the moment. Everything else here is fine. We set up a monthly trade to buy 40 minerals. With these minerals, we want to build more Sanctuary of Reposes, which is actually just synaptic nodes, actually. Yeah, this building is planetary unique. I'm gonna grab our Admiral fleet and survey the nearby systems. As you can see, we have the Offspring Corvette. It has a little bit more defensive capabilities, plus 50% to everything. And if we do not have this Corvette, all of our ships get that massive debuff of minus 50% evasion, ship fire rate, and accuracy. But with this one, we get plus 55%, so a net of 5. It's pretty good. Just make sure that your offsprings do not perish in the beginning of the battle. So our first tradition will be statecraft, because after all, Progenitor Hive level up the leader pretty quickly, and statecraft benefits from that tremendously. There we go, we can launch our agenda, and everyone leveled up, already level 2. Then we go for finding the voice, just to improve our monthly unity, of course. Politician, always nice to have, but since we'll be fighting the 25 times crisis, and will be a crisis of our own, we'll need to produce ships at massive rates. Since we are also a hive, we won't have that, ridiculous destiny traits, so I think it's better for our late game to have more ship build speed. Yeah, well, we can grab the politician here anyways. Yeah, it makes up. Oh, this one is tough. I think it's skirmisher. Yeah, more ship sublight speed is fantastic against the crisis. We did find a pretty good spot to sit here. Have pretty much just 2 choke points, one there and another one here, and we have a good amount of planets. Granted, those 2 have terrible habitability for us, since they are not dry planets, neither volcanic worlds, but well, we can't have everything, to be honest. Oh well, that's troubling. We found an AI empire just nearby. They are molluscoids, and here we have an ocean world, so perhaps this is one of their 2 habitable planets. This completely changes our early game, because we were going to focus on our unity production alone, but with that we might actually need to dip a little bit into alloys just to protect ourselves a little bit better. Because imagine if those guys are fanatic purifiers, then the run is over just from the beginning. We'll send an envoy to research the Sigma aliens. I hope that they don't live up to their names. I mean, they're even building up a starport already. Wow, yeah, we are definitely going into an early war here. I am not gonna accept an AI empire this close to our systems. I mean, we are gonna be a little bit aggressive here, and I'm gonna bet on full nuclear missiles on our corvettes. This is especially risky, because if they have any kind of point defense, we are gonna be doomed in the battle. And also, if they have mostly armor, we're also not gonna be very in a good spot. But anyway, we gotta take these chances, otherwise we won't be able to survive. So we finished statecraft. There isn't a good perk for us to grab that would help us in the war anyways, so we go with one vision just to make our unity production a little bit higher. Our second tradition is gonna be Unyielding, so that we can just defend ourselves a little bit better, and perhaps I won't be building any military ship until we ascend. After we ascend, we go and conquer this AI, but for now I think we can hold on our own just by using our starbase plus Unyielding. I mean, the Sigma aliens are gonna be vivisected. Yeah, they're clearly hostile to us. I wonder why. Yeah, they're even sending a colony ship that was definitely one of their guaranteed worlds. Alright, we are already setting foot on both of our planets, so I think we are up ahead on them. There we go. They are pacifist. Oh, that's fantastic. This means they won't be able to declare war on us anyways, so we don't have to worry about anything, man. Well, let's grow a spy network on them just to see what they are up to. Pedestrian, fantastic. We even have these little internal organs that we can utilize for the subterfuge. Yes, fantastic. We can acquire assets, we can steal their technologies. Of course, we won't be doing this until we have, a massive surplus of influence that we won't be using. Oh, we even have Tiana Vec inside our borders. How lovely. We can establish contact with them. Later on, we can purge them just to grab massive amounts of energy credits. After we launch our Finding the Voice agenda, we go for departmental efficiency. If you had prosperity instead of unyielding, which basically means you didn't have an aggressive neighbor. In our case, we didn't have an aggressive, but I was kind of scared. You could grab prosperity and go with the prosperity agenda, which is, I think, a lot better than the one we are choosing right now, but it's our best choice. I mean, now that we finished unyielding, why don't we just grab eternal vigilance anyways? It just gonna make sure we set the policy to no spending. Oh, it's already at no spending. Fantastic. Okay, we found our second AI empire here on the south. And they have a nebula. I don't know if you want to expand and grab this nebula, to be honest, because the rare resources, they are good, but they are not the perfect ones. I mean, we produce the most resources from our planets anyways. Oh well. Now for the next one, we are gonna now go into prosperity so we can have a little bit more efficiency on our planets. We found the Sinurian sovereign stars, militarist and fanatic materialist. Are they a member of a federation? Because we had so many other aliens nearby. Oh, they are up here. All right. And my friends, we got, I think it is the best event in the game. In the early game at least, we get the portal research area. Now this makes a perfect place for us to grab our physics research later down the line, because we're gonna grab +8 physics research from them. It's ridiculous, man. Yeah, of course there is an increase to upkeep, but we're gonna offset that pretty easily. What? They are preparing to declare war on us. Federation builders, so, but they don't have federation, thankfully. How are they gonna declare war on us? I mean, they cannot use the unrestricted wars, which is, they can make what? Liberation wars? Oh, I think they can use liberation wars against gestalt consciousness. Isn't that right? I think I'm gonna have to check the wiki for this one. I mean, from the looks of it, they can declare war on us. Oh, wow, bro. That was totally my bad. Holy. So let's equip our ships and also start making some defensive platforms. Bro, they are so wanting us dead. What? They have a 2,500 fleet? Granted, the army is pretty low, so perhaps what I could do is just build some armies and they won't be able to grab our systems anyways. But I don't know if we can build it in time. I mean, I think they got scared. Our spy network shows that they are not planning on declaring war on us, so we should be fine for the time being. But we cannot give up on reinforcing this choke point, because at any given opportunity they will declare war on us. But remind that the AI is set to aggressive and they are pretty strong in the early game. I mean, isn't Eternal Vigilance wonderful? We already have 6,000 in terms of fleet power just from this starbase, and it pretty much did nothing. Yeah, we spent a couple of alloys building up fleets, but the fleets only amassed to a total of, whoa. Yeah, let's upgrade this ship and change that number a little bit, hopefully. Yeah, thankfully.
Our fleet is prepared to bring the heat.
Oh, that was a loud announcement. Okay, it is year 15 and we can already grab the biomorphosis Ascension, but we got definitely delayed by this weird AI that is kind of pacifist, but not really. And because of that, we are losing a lot of energy credits in our star bases and ships, because maintaining this stronghold, it's not that cheap, to be honest. Each defensive platform costs us 1 energy and we already have 10 on top of everything else. Yeah, the first one will go with mutation, I think, just because of the environmental integration, which will give us the mutagenic habitability. This will allow us to set foot on other planets, although I'm not sure how it would interact with volcanic species, so we'll test this out in this run even. Bruh, they are preparing to declare war once again. But I don't know, I think they're gonna lose. If they only have this 3,400, our starbase will definitely take them out, so I'm not sure what their plan is. Well, they declared war to vassalize us. Okay, that's gonna be interesting, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they do have a lot of frigates. That is a little bit scary, to be honest. They might be able to take our starbase down, and their army is 320. Our defensive forces are around the same. Ooh boy, yeah, that's gonna be tough. So they did retreat their forces. I don't know why. I mean, are they scared of their rivals here on the north? I was even preemptively building a stronghold just to increase the amount of defensive armies that we have, but I don't think that that's gonna be necessary, because they are kind of afraid of attacking us, I suppose. Never mind, they are back. So yeah, we're gonna need that stronghold, definitely. I think I will even build up some more armies here on our capital world, because we don't have actually a slot for a stronghold at the moment, and I'm not gonna sacrifice our monthly unity in order to defend against this AI. Now there it is, everyone. They are engaging. Let's see how we fare. Don't have any war edicts to help us out. Now let's check that out. I think we're doing just fine. Wow, we lost 1 defensive platform, they lost 11 corvettes. That is actually amazing. Yeah, I don't think they have the strength to push through anyways. Oh, they're launching another pathetic attack. As a matter of fact, no, since I don't have FTL inhibitors, the AI is just ignoring our starbase. I didn't think they could do that. I think they were way too dumb, but I underestimated their intelligence. They're gonna straight for our home world. Oh boy. Now let's retreat, bro. You do not have the strength to take them out. I mean, I could have dragged them into our starbases using our fleets. That kinda works, I guess. If we like engage them right here, they would be in range of our starbase. Perhaps next time. I mean, never mind. The AI is just way too dumb. Yeah, they wouldn't have gone for a move like that. Instead, they split up their fleet, retreat one, engage the other, and just lost. Alright, there goes their other fleet now. Not a chance. But to be fair, we are extremely strong with this line of defense. They could have ignored it, but then they wouldn't have the army to take up our capital, which has a 500 strength, and their armies is only at 400 basically. Yeah, we would still have also Alpha Centauri pretty reinforced. It wouldn't be an easy fight for them, that I can tell you. Okay, now we found the Federation up south. So we are in between those two guys. Thankfully we have Unyielding. They seem to be kind of far away from us at the moment. Another trial to engage our systems, I think. I really have no idea what goes through their mind. Another engagement. Let's retreat our Admiral. I do not want him to, you know, go away. They just really love throwing their people to die, even though they are pacifists. And another engagement. See how many will die now. They started with 70, 6 corvettes. Yeah, just a cemetery of dead bodies there. They do not even want to settle status quo. What a shame. I mean, that's kind of funny. The genomic research facilities count as basically an offspring, because I think we grabbed the spawning drones. So we don't even need to build the offspring nest in order to negate the negative effects from not having it, which is fine, but later on we do want to build this since it gives us a little bit more pop growth, and that's all we want in the end, right? Well, how the tables have turned. Now they want to settle status quo. We are gonna agree, because this will give us the lowest truce time, and once the truce runs out, we will be strong enough to take all of their systems. We do not care about their empty spaces, we just care about their planets, and of course these lovely primitives. I mean, that's something to be scared, to be honest. Someone just built a starport here, so there was another AI empire right there, for real. Wow, this region is clustered with AIs. Let's just, I mean, build up a bastion, I guess. I'll make contact with the dolphins. Oh, they were a pre-FTL civilization that just upgraded. That's funny. So only within 26 years they already reached FTL and built their first starport. Congratulations. That's another vassal to us. I mean, since we do have a lot of influence remaining and our spy network is fantastic, we can even smuggle population or steal their technology. I think I'm gonna go with steal their technology because we are so behind, and we are gonna grab their population anyways, just from declaring war at them. Does this consume the asset? I don't think it does, right? Okay, so we finished the Ascension, and we can now pick one of the 3 Ascensions, basically. Is mutation, cloning, and purity. Of course, we want to take care, because depending on their Ascensions, we'll have the authorities. So we want to pick the one that will benefit us the most. Purity authority only will give us a little bit of unity. Do we need unity? No. Cloning authority will give us the replicating horde, which will reduce the empire size effect, will give us a little bit of monthly organic pop growth and a little bit more unity, but it will also give us the backup clones. However, we already acquired these backup clones during our biomorphosis situation, so we don't really need that. When we go to mutation, we can have the mutation authorities and adaptive dominion. This will reduce our empire size from pops by -15%, give us more happiness, efficiency from manual drones, and stability. That is fantastic. It's all that we want. So let's just grab that, and then we can have here, we already stored a lot of unity throughout all this time. We are ascending pretty late into the game, but to be fair, we got kind of screwed by this AI anyways. So we finished the mutation Ascension. Yeah, just like that. We already have the adaptive dominion and another Ascension part, which will be our galactic hypothermia. Oh boy. So our science drones report a novel method for harvesting and storing entropy by biting it into a high energy crystalline matrix. Wow. This crystallized entropy can store and transport substantial thermal energy applicable across industrial, economic, and interstellar operations. I like that. Modeling suggests that it might be used to terraform planets into hotter climates, or even in accelerating stellar evolution into red giants. hints. In principle, stray entropy from across the galaxy could be reclaimed and converted into usable heat, driving compounding thermal expansion on a galactic scale. We are gonna make things hotter for everyone else. So with these, we get a new special project called New Power Source, and we begin our event chain. Now, the galactic hyperthermia is gonna take us 223 months to research. I mean, we do not have the physics for that. However, here on Sirius Prime, we have the perfect planet for that. We are building up massive physics research specializations, and we have the best modifier in the game, the portal research area. So for every 100 of our dimensional portal drones, we are producing 21 physics. And that is without any other modifiers buffing our job efficiency and anything like that. So yeah, we are pretty strong. I will just let the month pass and we'll see the difference in our resources. Oh, first of all, we can even create a template, but I think it will also take us a lot of time. Let me just do some silly stuff and see how long it will take. Yeah, 28 months, that's kind of long. So the month passed, now we have all the modifiers. From this tradition alone, we are already gaining minus 25% empire size from pops, and as you know me, I like to reduce that to 0, so we'll grab synchronicity, domination, we'll grab the psionic theory, minus 30%, and then we're gonna grab the galactic community resolution, minus 40%, so a total of minus 65. We have finished our ascension, picked 4 traditions already, and with that we enable the galactic hypothermia. Of course, we still need to research the special technology New Power Source, which will unlock the mega structure. So our plan right now is to basically develop the most amount of technologies we can. Thankfully, here on Sirius Prime, we have the perfect world for our physics research. That is because we got the very special portal research area, granting us plus 8 physics research for every 100 dimensional portal drones. Now, if you compare that with a regular researcher, let's just see this. 100 physicists produces us 27 physics research. It is quite good. We're basically getting 2 research for every mineral that we are spending, and of course this will be even more efficient once we get the special research buildings up and running. The main problem our build is going to suffer is the mineral outcome in the early game, so our plan is to develop a kind of mining engine somewhere in our empire that we can produce massive amounts of minerals. Thankfully, we do have 3 planets that we can colonize, so this world with 9 districts could be a good one, although it is only a size 10 planet. So perhaps we are gonna stick with one of our volcanic worlds, especially because they also have the special thermotechnic forums, which will give us unity from miners. And since we'll be replacing all of our synaptic nodes for other buildings, we'll still need to have some source of unity production later on, so we can ascend our planets and keep picking some traditions. And we can set up some colony ships so we can start developing the other colonies. Do need to buy some energy credits though. So we are modifying our pops to increase the amount of resources we are producing from our manual drones, more specifically the ones producing minerals and energy credits. And you're also gonna get a little bit of bonuses towards research using the erudite trait. In exchange, we are losing pop growth during war and crisis. However, we won't be going to war with our neighbors since we have truce with these guys, and the other ones, I mean, they are pre-FTL civilization, so they won't declare war on us, I guess. The other one is brittle. I mean, more amenities usage is bad. However, we do have a lot of spare amenities on our planets, so it shouldn't be a problem. So we'll go with domination for our next tradition, I believe, because with this we'll reduce the amenities usage, which is getting increased by the brittle trait. On top of that, we'll have some good edicts to activate, buffing our manual drones, which is our main problem right now. When we are transitioning from unity to tech, we'll need to have a better mineral outcome. On top of that, we'll have a little more bonuses towards our officials and our Councilors EXP. Not that our Councilors are under-leveled, and in the domination, the finisher effect is gonna reduce our empire size from pops. The civil exclusion agenda is also one that I like, because it gives us plus 15% resources from jobs, and that is across the board. We stole a technology from our enemies. Which one? The ground defense planning, giving us a little bit more defense army health. Always nice. Can we steal once again? Oh, it has a cooldown of 6 years. Under understandable, I believe. Now this is the edict that I was talking about, manual drone output plus 10% on top of a bonus of 5% from the tradition itself, and on top of a bonus here of 5% and then 15%. It is pretty good. Yeah, some people really underestimate the power of this tradition. Okay, is this gonna reveal us this Ronin homeworld? Not yet. But yeah, if this Ronin homeworld happens to be in this border, we are doomed because it will break our perfect choke point. I hope that it appears right here because it won't matter at all then. There goes the warning that they are preparing to declare war on us as expected, but thankfully we are upgrading to Starhold. I just don't know if it is gonna be upgraded within time. Okay, now it is time for us to see where this Ronin system will be created. Please, RNG gods, get me a good spot. Oh man, that sucks so much. No, our perfect choke point is ruined. Nah, you gotta be kidding me. Oh well, what do we do then? I mean, I really think that our next choke points will be on the zipper system and perhaps on a Feka, because we want to have long choke points. So we want to conquer all of these from our neighbors in order for us to defend against the crisis. But this is gonna hurt us tremendously in this war. Perhaps I should have delayed the finisher of the archaeological site. This way we could have this choke point after the war was over, because the war is going to happen. So since they are about to strike and all of our fleets are equipped with nuclear missiles, and we have a pretty good laser, by the way. Okay, so us declaring rivalry with them actually forced them into war declaration. So it's now or never, fellas. We do have a pretty good Star Fortress, Star Hold here with 21,000. So we should hold this point pretty well. And we have an 8,000 fleet that is currently increasing here in order to defend the brand new drone system. If the system did not exist, we would be in such a better place. But well, we can't have everything, right? Yeah, just as expected, they are sending their fleets towards the southern border because they can't get through Alpha Centauri. Thankfully, we still have 11,000 worth of fleet power and we are now equivalent, so we shouldn't lose these battles. Let's go with rightful claims. It's only gonna give us 5% damage when we launch it. It's not gonna matter at the moment. So let's instead improve our unity output. But yeah, they are attacking this drone system. Get out of there, get Gavutas. So there is their main force. For some reason, it has been damaged. Was the Cosmic Storm? Yeah, it was damaged by the Particle Storm. That it is not near enough to take the Alpha Centauri system, so we should be safe here. Well, I think we're gonna catch up to them and destroy their fleet because we are extremely fast. Yeah, that was a slaughter. Holy. Let's continue to conquer their systems. Now, this might be the biggest battle in this war, and it's gonna be a close one, so I would try to activate any edicts that could help us. Unfortunately, none of them help us, so yeah, we're just gonna trust in our admiral. Okay, that's being a stomp for us. Yeah, fantastic. Easy win. Okay, so now they will try to reclaim their lost system, but this is kind of scary because they have more fleet power than we do. Or in fact, they have around 50% more. They might actually lose this engagement. Yeah, it's not looking good. Yeah, we lost it. And I can see their losses though. Yeah, so we reform out of natural neural network, memorialist. We then grab the permutation pools to improve our pop growth once we have the hive worlds. We also grab the subsumed wheel, increasing our edicts fund, but that's not the main point. It is the last empire size from pops that is gonna help us out, and then we are left with kind of an open civic that we can choose whatever at the moment. I am tempted to go with subspace how can you pronounce that? Ipapsi? I don't know. Because we get plus 20% sublight speed and the naval cap is gonna help us later on, or strength of legions just for the commander starting level plus 2, but we do not have many fleets, so yeah, it's kinda weird. What about Nero Vaults? Giving us effective Councilor skill, that's gonna be pretty much an overall bonus to us, and a little bit of leader starting skill. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this option for now. Later on, 20 more years, we're gonna reform it once again. Oh, that's fantastic. The relic can give us plus 20% ship weapons damage. Thank you, Zroni. That's exactly what we want in order to finish up this war. But now it's just gonna be a massacre for us. Finally, the orbital ring technology. This is gonna be so useful for us. starbases. And after we start building our orbital rings, we're gonna already finish the engineering research specialization and shift it to another planet, focusing exclusively on alloys on our capital, and remove the capital from here to another planet in order for us to grab the upkeep reduction from the planetary designation. Man, our commander died in the army engagement, but he died in the beginning of the battle. I mean, it makes zero sense for us to have army leaders, yeah, since they can just perish like that. So annoying. I think they should stay alive no matter what during the fight. It's not like we can lose admirals if one of our ships die, you know. They're still alive. But this should be our last invasion on the planet. After that, the enemy should surrender. Let's see. At any moment. There we go. So we won the war. We re-establish our choke points now, and we shall begin building it up to defeat the crisis, since we are already at the end game, commanders, meaning that the crisis can spawn at any given moment. Of course, it does take them a couple of decades to regularly spawn, just from experience, but there are some events that can trigger that earlier. Thankfully, I myself have not activated any one of these, but who knows, perhaps the AI somewhere in the galaxy did something dumb and researched a very specific tick site, enabling the ability to spawn earlier. Who knows? Of course, we are gonna just deactivate all of these access starbases. I have no need for them at the moment. Just gonna keep the ones that we're gonna utilize as our choke points. So here on Alfeka, gonna be our brand new choke point, as well as on Zipper. Regarding their species, we are not gonna set them up to undesirables. We are gonna integrate them in our hive mind. So assimilation to everyone. Of course, we can assimilate robots. So a very important thing we need to do is look at all the buildings that the AI built and specialize our planets a little bit more, because since our economy is not consolidated yet, because we are so early into the game, it is kind of worry if you let all the planets just be like that, because they are very, very inefficient. That's funny. So since we also have the Vaults of Knowledge building and the AI had one in their capital, we now have 2 of these. That's cool. So since right now we have all of these planets, and ideally we want to turn some of them into volcanic worlds and some of them into hive worlds, we are just waiting for the climate restoration technology. So as a good crisis empire, we are gonna start off our path now that we are kinda more stabilized, and we are gonna build the galactic crucible mantle. Okay, crystallization achieved. With our existing samples of crystallized entropy, we can harvest and synthesize them without endangering our home star. These crystals hold immense thermal energy, allowing our industry to store and transport power more efficiently than conventional methods. Red giants, thanks to their vast emission surfaces and thermal output, are ideal for this process, and we are ready to deploy the technology in any system under our control. So we unlock the galactic crucible frame, and we can pick a system to store the production. So ideally we want to produce this in a very safe system. So one here on the core, we have both Gemma, which is a red giant, and also Barnard Star. I think we're gonna go Gemma just because it is a little further away from our choke points, so it is a little safer. I was almost forgetting about the entropy harnessing edict, which you definitely need to activate it in order for us to start harvesting the crystallized entropy. This is the main source of entropy in the early game, because for every technician we'll get a little bit. Let's just see our technician worlds. Yeah, we are producing 38 per month. Not that great, but it's still better than all the other sources we have. So the point of this crisis is basically to reach level 3 and start terraforming our planets into volcanic worlds. This way we're gonna gain 350 entropy from each planet we terraform, and this will scale up a lot. So let's begin the construction of the crucible mantle. Oh, we are still needing 379, so around 10 months for us. Now that we have all the resources needed, we'll start the construction of our mega structure. And look at the size of it, it's almost like a ring world. And we also have the climate restoration at the same time, so we can finally pick the hive world's Ascension perk. We just need to have a little bit better energy credit output. So I think I'm gonna deactivate the entropy harnessing edict since it costs us a little bit of energy, and we're gonna terraform all of our planets. I mean, not all of them, we're still gonna have some as volcanic worlds. But for our last tradition, we are gonna go with synchronicity so that we can have less empire size from pops and make our empire a little more efficient than it already is. Nah, that's amazing. So all of our drones in the portal research area, they also are gonna produce us 6 energy credits. With these, we are producing over 1000 in surplus. What? This might be the most efficient job ever. Like 100 pops are producing us 76 research and 20 energy for only the cost of 27 minerals, which can be further reduced if we just ascend our planet a little bit. Wow, man. Nah, this is the best world I have ever gotten though. Well, we're just gonna build more physics research then, right? Our galactic crucible mantle is completed, and the way we progress towards this crisis is that we can just upgrade it to the next level. We do not need to actually grab a certain amount of crystallized entropy, because of course it is calculated from the upgrade itself. It is not on the crisis tab. So we need 5000, and we stopped the production of it just because we were grabbing more energy credits to terraform our planets into Hive world. But at the moment, since we get that massive event giving us energy credits from the physics on Sirius Prime, we can reactivate the entropy harnessing. So since Sirius Prime is costing us almost 1200 minerals per month, and minerals are right now a bottleneck for our empire, I think we're just gonna send a couple of times, 3 times actually, and see how much it has changed. So yeah, just by ascending 3 times, we are now gaining around 200 more minerals. And I forgot about the food. Yeah, we infernals, we do not need food. For all the pops that we acquired, they do require it. Such filthy regular organics. So with all of this in mind, we'll start to make our plan come true and increase our naval capacity to defeat the crisis. I don't know what's gonna happen in this gameplay, but I'm certain that we'll have some setbacks, especially because we are already at the endgame date, so the fallen empires can wake up and other bad things may happen to us. Yeah, so the United Hatteran Authority can form a federation with us. I just can't form a research cooperative, which would be the best one to fight against the crisis, but we could go Martial Alliance just for the ship build speed, which will help us a lot, ship starting experience, and there are other bonuses inside of this alliance. And we'll go with the Martial Alliance so that we can have more military bonuses. A new federation. Let history record that on this day, the governments of Magmorian Hive and the United Hatteran Authority signed the Treaty of Federation as founding members of the Galactic Defense Initiative. And we found these little frogs. Oh, their planet is quite cool. So the adaptive dominion will be watching you. Okay, now our federation, but most importantly, we got ship fire rate bonuses, 25% damage to endgame crisis factions, and more 25% later. And we also have, where is it? This one, monthly unity equal to 10% of the size of the Federation fleet. Now Federation fleets can achieve the maximum size of 600, which means we'll be gaining 60% monthly unity when we are at the maximum levels. So that is quite good. You're gonna select an official, preferably one of high level, but we only got the ones from other empires for some reason. But that is fine, and this way we'll make progress towards our cohesion. Now that we have the Star Fortress technology, we can upgrade our already finished shipyards to the Citadel level. After that, we might begin building up some Titans as well. Okay, we can finally upgrade our galactic crucible frame since we have already 5000 entropy. This will increase a little bit of our naval capacity alongside advancing us to the next level in the endgame crisis, which will give us more megastructure build capacity, allow us to have the conduits, which are pretty much little things that go traveling around the galaxy, and then we have the overclocking of the galactic crucible. What it does, we'll still have to know. Nah, Unity Ambitions, this is fantastic. It's perhaps the best technology in the game. It will unlock us like the best edicts available. Now that we grab the Unity Ambitions, we'll still have 2 more Ascension perks to pick from. Imperial Prerogative will reduce our empire size by around 50, which is very welcome, by the way. However, I'm guessing that Grasp the Void could have a better use just because of the starbase capacity plus 5, but eventually once we reach the repeatables, that won't be a problem. So this would be a more immediate approach, and the Imperial Prerogative would be a more late game approach, focusing on technology and reducing our empire size, which has effects on edicts and also the planetary ascension itself. Technological ascendancy, it is quite useless because we already have 66% research speed, so its bonuses is pretty much, you know, the marginal gains are not that high. So right now we have 45% technology cost from the empire size. After we adopted, 37%. So it even had a better effect than the technological ascendancy. Now, like I was talking before about the starbase upgrade speed, the Unity Ambition Fortress Proclamation Ascension is also very good, plus 100% starbase upgrade. However, it does come online very late into the game, when most of the times you already have all of your starbases already upgraded to the desired level, which is pretty much our case at the moment. However, it is very helpful the ambition a grand fleet, because it increases the naval capacity by 20%, which scales off with your anchorages pretty well. Our best exploration scientist got blinded, and now we have all of these modifiers, so he turned out from the best excavator out there to a mediocre one. And it also hurt his ability to explore the astral rifts, though. I might have to replace you though, yeah, but the other leaders are level 1. Wow, man, that's tough. Another thing good if you are planning on improving your military is building the strategic coordination center, by the way, which will give you more naval capacity, more fleet command limit, and allow you to build even more starbases to fuel your starbase network. Another hive world for us, so that now that our economy is a little bit better, we have pretty much finished all of our shipyards. As you can see, we have 6 shipyards for 687 naval capacity. We could perhaps improve and grab another shipyard for us, but that will be in a future plan once we grab the strategic coordination center. We already have plus 100% ship build speed, so with this we can pump out around 12 battleships every 1.5 years, which is incredibly fast. Actually even faster, because our battleships have another modifier of plus 25% ship build speed, so we produce 1 every 213 days or 12 every 416 for every shipyard that we have. But since we have Progenitor Hive, we also need to keep in mind that we must have the offspring battleships in all of our fleets. Now we gain 1 offspring battleship for 100 naval capacity, which means that for every 11 normal battleships we want to have 1 offspring battleships. So with this in mind, let's make a fleet comprised of 2 offspring battleships and 22 regular battleships. Okay, with this, let's see how fast we can build 3 fleets of battleships using all of our shipyards and build speed modifiers. I forgot to buy some rare crystals, but that happens. So currently looking at our federation, we have a fleet power of 23,500. Let's see in just a few moments where we go. Oh, that's a cool artifact. We're gonna get some entropy per month with this. Oh, that's quite fun. Very, very interesting indeed. So our galactic crucible chassis is now done, and it is ready to deploy the conduits, automated systems designed to channel and amplify stellar entropy. So these conduits can be produced at regular intervals and operate autonomously for our convenience. For now, they will remain within our territory, but within time, it may serve us to let them spread across the galaxy. So we need to conquer more stars. We are almost at the next stage, only needing around 2000 entropy to advance, and once we do, we will unlock the Ember Cruiser, which is a little bit stronger than the regular cruisers. Conduits will deal passive damage to hostile ships and stations. We will unlock the volcanic world terraforming and the firestorm orbital bombardment stance. But the fun thing about this crisis is this blazing armada. Our foundry drones and brain drones will increase our naval capacity, we'll gain minus 50% water exhaustion, and then we have more sublight speed for the Ember ships. At the final stages, we will have plus 25% ship weapons damage for our Ember ships. Yeah, it's quite nuts. So now that we've finished all of the Ascensions, I think I'm gonna grab the Gnomadic Engineering so that we'll have a small chance of drawing the Fallen Empire building technologies, and imagine if we get the best ones, which would be the Research building and the Energy one, at least in my opinion. The other bonuses, they are not as relevant at the moment, by the way. Mastery of Nature would be good, but we already have Hive Worlds, which pretty much negate most of the bonuses from this, which would be the Max Resource Districts from Planetary Features. Master Builders, we do not have that necessity to build megastructures as well, so enigmatic engineering is the way to go. And just as I was saying, we got the science building. No way, man. We are so lucky. Now, since everything is finished in the Unity department, we can spend the excess Unity ascending our worlds to improve our overall job efficiencies. So here on Sirius Prime, we are losing 1000 minerals. If we fully ascend the planet using all the Unity we have, now we are losing only 500. Yeah. Oh boy. Thankfully, we started building up our fleets because the fallen empires awakened. The mech pucks, which I believe to be the bioships, the hive mind. And what the ancient fallen empire fragment has been assimilated by a more dominant aspect of the former overmind. Perhaps it was for the best. So, wow, man. They basically formed a super intelligence now, and they are overwhelming to us. Belligerent. That is kind of scary. So in order to defend ourselves a little better against the fallen empire, we'll go with the oppose the fallen agenda, giving us extra damage against them. Now let's upgrade our galactic crucible to even the next stage to improve our naval capacity even further. We are currently needing a little bit more. No way. So when we terraform this hive world, it completely removed the best modifier in the game, and now we are losing 3000 energy per month. That's something that wasn't in my plans, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have to make something now to produce unity, produce energy actually. Now this might save us. The class 3 singularity, the best energy building in the game, it has a base production on top of 600 Tectrons jobs. So with the next stage of the galactic crucible done, we can unlock the new crisis level calamity. We can either go with the desired firestorm, or we could utilize it as a galactic crucible institute and focus on peaceful things. Since we built up a pretty significant fleet, I think we say fan the flames of war. Now our galactic crucible is bigger than ever, and commanders, we have approached 1 million in terms of fleet power just from these improvements that I talked before. Now this has been a great improvement, and we'll try to defend ourselves against the brand new fallen empire, which is expanding rather quickly here on the southern part of the galaxy. Perhaps the endgame crisis will appear, I don't know, but we have fortified ourselves quite well. We just need to take a look at the defensive platforms because they are not that well optimized. Our empire is pretty strong at the moment, however, the improved mech bucks aspiration, a very edgy fallen empire, just awakened. They are belligerent, overwhelming to us, and they have the hunger diplomacy stance. So this empire hungers and consumes. Basically another endgame crisis on our hands. Since our goal is to obliterate the entire galaxy, all we need to do is upgrade our lovely galactic crucible core, which is sitting right here, pretty much doing nothing at the moment. But once we expand this, as you can see, there is this pentagon region in the center of the galaxy, and we must take control of all the systems. It will unlock a special wormholes for us to travel there. Of course, this may result in us declaring war into some empires to open borders with them, but that's just a side effect of things, right? Especially because we are a crisis ourselves, so we can't be nice with everyone. We do have our lovely United Hatranan authority. They are very friendly with us, and they don't even know what is coming. So if we manage to blow up the galaxy, I believe that the improved mech pucks will be annihilated with that, because they are just regular biological empires, and it is quite weird that a regulatory node is a governor in a planet. I have never seen like that, but okay, I guess they're pretty buff. So we don't even need to declare war on them. We just take control of the middle section and explode everything. In order to do that, we first need to research the designed firestorm. So the crucible has shown us a new path for our species. It would be foolish not to embrace it, and we should suffer no fools. It is time to remake the galaxy in a blazing new image and burn away anyone who rejects our vision. So by doing this, we unlock the next upgrade of our megastructure, and our conduits can now convert stars in enemy territory. If you are wondering what are the conduits, they are these vessels here that pretty much turns every single star into a class M star, which is a red giant. So systems get a little bit hotter across the galaxy. So we'll begin by researching it. It will take 2 months since we have a massive amount of energy research. It didn't take long. The Quevox charge now, they wanna try it and bully us. The lack of respect you show for your elders will be your undoing. Yeah. We will not be bullied. And where are you even? You are about to get dominated by the other fallen empire. You're inferior to us. What do you want, savage? You're gonna see what's savage. Take that insult. So we completed the event, Into the Fire. Our investigations into the entropy and the designed firestorm has confirmed what we suspected. The potential for devastating weaponry is real. With such power in our hands, we no longer need to temper ourselves for the sake of diplomatic niceties. The Galactic Crucible Hub's expansion will accelerate with a special focus on its more aggressive applications. The sooner we unlock these weapons, the less the galaxy's opinion will matter. What a wonderful thing to say. Our rivals shall be kindling for the fire. Our wormholes and our allies even. But is there a way I can save you? No, I feel bad for destroying our allies. So now the next stage will cost us 12,500 entropy, but we just need 1.3k since we already have a little bit of a stockpile. We are generating 8 per month. That's terrible. We must increase this. One way of increasing is just activating the entropy harnessing. Our technicians will produce a little bit less energy, but who cares about energy when we are about to blow up the universe? Yeah, now we are already producing 152. Much better. Okay, now that we harnessed enough entropy, let's upgrade it. It will add another ring for the spinning rings around the star. With this, I don't think we should keep up the edict activated because it does cost us a lot of energy, so let's deactivate. We also got the jump drives and we should equip all of our vessels with them, upgrade them to the latest design and start taking control of the core systems. Well, we are at the border of the galactic core, however our jump drives still cannot reach that, so why don't we declare war on the Merovingian? Let's first give them a chance, right? We are not supposed to be that unfair. Let's open our borders first, and if they don't open theirs within 1 month, we destroy them. That's basically how it works. All their borders are still closed, so yeah, we close ours and we declare war to vassalize. All of members of our federation need to accept it as well, but thankfully our allies are still on board with this plan. So let's go ahead, and I think if we got here, we might be able to jump to the Nimrod system. Let's see, we conquered the system, and oh, it is just outside. No way. We need to move a little bit closer. What about here? Oh, what? We can't jump there? I swear we could. Is there a way we can access the systems before? Does anyone know? Please leave it in the comments down below. I swear I played a multiplayer game and a guy just got into these systems. Wow, they might have changed it, I don't know, in the latest patch. Well, that is unfortunate, but since we are at war, we are gonna have to finish it, and we do not want to surrender. So let's just destroy them a little bit more, or even try to vassalize. It is not that big of a deal anyways. Only 131 points. Let's jump, and bam. Just a single volley of shot already destroyed our enemies. In the meantime, whilst all of this war was happening, our galactic crucible finished. Our ongoing research into conduits and transforming stars into red giants suggests we may be able to scale up our operations to overheat the galactic core itself, triggering a thermal cascade across the entire galaxy, thus transforming it into a much more hospitable place for us, but of course it will be literally infernal for the others. We have identified 6 systems surrounding the core that could serve as operational hubs for this endeavor. These systems lie beyond the galactic hyperlane network, but efforts are underway to generate stable wormholes and establish access. The whole galaxy will blaze in harmony. Other species will try to oppose us. Prepare for galactic war. With this, if you take notice, our naval capacity massively increased. That is because we unlocked the crisis perk Blazing Armada, which will gain 1 naval capacity for every brain drone and foundry drone. And if you play Stellaris long enough, you know that those 2 things are the only things you want to maximize in the later stages of the game. So it is perfect for generating naval capacity. On top of that, our conduits will now do some crazy stuff across the borders, and will have sublight speed increase for Amber cruisers and Amber battleships. Although we do not even have the Amber battleship unlocked yet, it will be unlocked at the existential threat crisis level, which we will get once we upgrade the galactic crucible hub to the maximum tier. Let's activate once again the entropy harnessing, and let's see if we can jump into the hyperlanes now. We still don't have access to it. Perhaps the wormholes will grant us access. Fantastic, the enemy surrendered, and now we have 1 more vassal to us. They became instantly protectorate just because we have so much more technological level than them. Finally, we can activate the galactic crucible, which is also inside a very cool nebula, a gravity storm. So we upgrade it to the maximum level. It's gonna take around 5 years to finish, and once it does, we will unlock the galactic core. Of course, our economy is in shambles, so we deactivate that edict once again. Now, this is something that I really dislike about hive minds. Our trade production is ridiculously low. Yeah, we just have our planets and we are on the negative. I am selling over 1,000 minerals per month and 150 rare crystals, which are not cheap, to be honest, and we are still on the negative. Yeah, we are barely making through it. And that's not like a completely abandoned trade in our empire. We even have one of our engineering worlds. It does have a lot of logistics warrings with 3,800 logistic drones, and we are even increasing it a little bit more in our Motelium Prime, our capital system. So that's just for you to know how bad the situation is. Now this is an affront. They want to nominate 2 custodians in order to try perhaps to stop us, but I don't know if the galaxy know about our plans though. I think they are actually scared by the fallen empire. That could be a reason. I think I should not try to stop them and not alert them of our plans. No way, now that's very cool. So before I think we could only build a mega shipyard in a unitary system, but apparently now we can build it across all systems in the game as long as there is a star. Okay, so we dug a very weird astral rift that had these powerful crystals. They destroyed our scientists and are now engaging, but unfortunately it was right on our shipyard and all of our fleets were ready to engage. Fantastic. The galactic crucible is now fully armed and operational. With wormholes tunnels completed, we have secured access to all 6 staging systems around the galactic core. Our work to overheat the core can begin. Other empires may detect our activity and attempt to reach the systems, but for now we hold the advantage and the core bends to our will. Oh boy. So all wormholes apparently come from the Gemma system, which is where our galactic crucible is located. So let's begin by setting some fleet to safeguard those systems, and then we'll build up some deep space citadels just in case the other empires try to do some funny things with our systems. Okay, galactic custodian appointed. The Otarian nation. Let's see how strong they are. Nah, bro. We'll do everything in our power to limit the corruption influence of the Magmorian Hive in the galactic community. Yeah. Of course, my friends, of course. You're pathetic in every single way to us. You do not even come close. I think if you combine your entire federation, you are not even stronger than my ally, these little slimes. Oh boy, the rival empires have forced open hyperlanes to our staging grounds near the galactic core. As we continue to superheat the core, we must prepare for resistance, but we will not be stopped. The cold dark of space will be scoured away, replaced by the blazing glory of our ascendant future. So now the galaxy has 3 points in order to try and stop us, 2 of those belonging to our protectorate, which I don't think they will try to harm us in any ways, and the other one is the League of Grey Light. It is a very large empire, but they are cordial to us even. What if we try to invite them for our federation? Oh, there we go. Escalation, galactic crisis declared. History's greatest transformations have always demanded sacrifice, yet the galactic community views our work as a threat rather than a necessity. In response, a united military coalition has mobilized against us. With extermination, their stated goal, we are left with no alternative. Any approach toward the galactic core or the galactic crucible will be met with overwhelming force. Our vision has ignited the stars themselves. Let those who oppose it contend with the storm we have summoned. So we must defend the galactic core systems and our victory will be assured. So we left the Federation, meaning that all that effort was pretty much for nothing. We did retain our protectorate, which is kinda insane. Everyone else is our enemy, but our lovely Merovingian Principality is our friends. Serving a master without honor is a burden. Yeah, you're gonna get blazed, especially because you are a plantoid. Now this is funny. So we are against the entire galaxy, obviously, and if we look at the peace offers, the relative navy strength is all the way to the maximum in our favor. Yeah, there is no way they can defeat it at the moment. But who knows? Maybe the Fallen Empire can help them out since they are equivalent to us. Yeah, if the Fallen Empire decide to join the war, we are pretty much doomed. Now we do have a lot of fleets, and I mean a lot of fleets to spare. So I think we're gonna grab just 3 and stay at the hyperlanes defending ourselves, and the rest of them will go out in the galaxy to cause some chaos and help our allies a little bit. Since on our choke points we have prepared to defend against the 25 times crisis, but we happen to be the crisis first. So I don't think the crisis will appear at this run since we'll be obliterating the galaxy. But these choke points, yeah, they have basically 800,000 in terms of fleet power. So I don't think any AI can get through this. Our entropies are trying to expand, but they have only 2,000 in terms of fleet power. It's not gonna be pretty. Yeah, they just instantly disappeared. Now they're doing a pathetic attempt at stopping us using some bioships, but if they played Pokemon, they would know that fire beats grass at any moment. Yeah, not even close, baby. Just look at all this swarm of bioships being destroyed, all for nothing. But to be honest, they would get destroyed anyway when we burn the galaxy to ashes. They might as well just serve a purpose at the moment. Now the Fallen Empire decided to sneakily attack us. I wasn't even looking, but they just appeared right at the Mastodon system. Thankfully, we are much stronger than they are. So it wasn't even a close fight. Yeah. Here it says that they didn't lose anything, but I highly doubt it, right? They must have lost a little bit of ships, at least. Well, let's reinforce it. We do have our Juggernaut nearby, so we can start producing the battleships. And this is a very cool change. So now a Juggernaut has 6 building slots, the same as a Citadel. I mean, our Titans have 445 speed. Wow, what is this? Now, this is their largest attempt ever with 300,000 against our 500k fleet. But I don't think it is going to be even close, this battle. Because not only do we have the fleet power, but we also have the range, which must be always factored in. No, what the hell? The AI built the best fortress world I have ever seen from them. They have 8,000 armies, and it is even after the battle we just lost, I had to retreat our army from the planet and call in some reinforcements from the home world. Oh no, 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 no. I didn't see this fleet. So they are trying to engage our army and prevent the invasion of their planet. And our fleet just conquered another system, so they are kind of far away. I hope we can survive 45 days until the reinforcements arrive. And at the same time, everything is happening. The galactic power surge. I can't believe it. The crisis couldn't pick a worse moment to appear, man. Oh boy. But I mean, it's gonna be the entire galaxy plus the Fallen Empires, because this guy is a Fallen Empire and he's at war with us, plus the 25 times Endgame crisis. But I think that galactic power surge means that it is unbeaten. So everything we did with this Roni Stormcaster in our systems, it is pretty useless, because this 100% negates the armor, and the Unbeaten doesn't even have armor. Yeah, so it was even worse for us to have this building. Oh, that's not good. We are losing our army significantly fast. And the Unbeaten already begun. No way, man. No way. They appeared so quickly. But it was what? 10 days? And they appear right here, very close to us. Very, very close to us. Oh, I don't even know what I do. Can we take a look at their systems and see what's inside? No, we can't, because there is a cosmic storm, I believe. Yeah. Oh, how wonderful. We do have a scouting fleet of 400k nearby, but I don't think I'm gonna sacrifice these brave souls there. So the Unbeaten is right behind our fleet. They have a 13 million fleet power, and the other one's 5.3 million. The real problem with the Unbeaten is that we can't allow them to expand, otherwise they will be unstoppable. And what I mean is that depending on the number of anchors, which is their starbases that they have across the galaxy, the more reinforcements they get and the faster they get them. I mean, the Galactic Custodian has a pickle on his hand, right? The Endgame crisis, us, as perhaps we are stronger than the Endgame crisis, I don't know, but we are causing a lot more trouble than the Unbeaten at the moment. And they also have an Awakened Empire to deal with that. I wouldn't want to be this guy ever. Now, I mean, we have one fleet against 15 million fleet power of the Unbeaten. Can these guys take care of them? I don't know. Our ship design is quite good against... We have pretty much kinetic plus bypass, which is the longest range weapons we could afford. But I don't know. I don't know. Now let's activate all of our edicts, just to be sure. So let's take a look at our damage. I don't think we are even scratching them. Oh no, we did take out a couple of ships. Alright, alright. Can we kite them forever? Because our battleships, they are incredibly fast. But look, not that fast. They are getting in range. If we start to lose ships, I will immediately retreat. We already start losing some ships. So let's retreat. I like our numbers. We did take out a couple of their vessels. Perhaps if we combine all of our fleets, we might have a chance of stopping them before they become too much of a problem. But this would mean abandoning our points here on the galactic core. Our empire is pretty fortified. I don't think anyone can pass these defenses. I don't think even the Unbeaten can get through this. So we should be fine for now. Well, I think we're gonna get everyone into the Mastodon system, and then we will rush their anchor. Can we take out the anchor without taking the other starbases? If I remember correctly, we can't. And the galactic firestorm is also progressing extremely fast. A cascading firestorm impends. Soon the galactic core will erupt, cleansing our enemies and cementing our dominion over the stars. But the galaxy refuses to embrace a radiant future. Through the newly forged hyperlanes, they plot to invade our staging grounds and undo everything we have built. I mean, I don't think they have a plan. I really just think they are all too scared to do something something, and they're just desperately trying to find a solution. But at the moment, the galaxy is not in their hands. It is not. They have either the option of getting obliterated by us or eaten by the unbeaten. I don't know which one is more sufferable. Okay, so we do have all of our fleets in a single system, around 5.5 million in terms of fleet power, and just a mothball of ships. So with this, I plan on taking out some of the contingency vessels. Perhaps we can, and I think, yeah, we can't take out the dimensional portal before we get rid of all of the stations. Okay, we are engaging them. This is our first massive battle. Let's see how our fleets fare. Okay, we do have, I mean, our range is so ridiculous. Fantastic, fantastic. I don't think they even dealt a single bit of damage. Amazing. Yeah. Now, the real issue is getting through the systems because the choke points are terrible. Nah, man, that's such a dangerous territory. Our allies build... Allies, no, enemies now, right? They build hyper relays across the entire network. So I'm afraid that our ships might go through a hyper relay and then Unbeaten just appears right next to us. If they get us at close range, it's game over, basically. And with this cosmic storm happening, man, things get extra dangerous because we can't know for sure where they are. Now, one thing that is cool though, I can take my entropies and manually set them to move. This way we can kind of scout around and see where the Unbeaten is. They're clearly making progress towards this way. And the Unbeaten is coming straight for the custodian. Okay, well, who would have thought, right? Okay, we finally see some of their ships. The cosmic storm apparently dissipated. Oh, they are near the hyper relays, which is just right here. Man, we need to get away fast. Oof, thankfully they went the other way around. So we should be fine to go into the system, right? Well, this is funny. The AI was mounting up an invasion against us, but at the same time, the Unbeaten was chasing them. Yeah, that was a little bit unlucky. Okay, just like that. Wow, the galactic hyperthermia. We have fanned the flames of victory from the galactic core to the outermost stars. The firestorm has reduced our enemies to ash. They lacked the vision, the courage to embrace the glorious future we claim. The galaxy is ours. In this new order of fire and fury, planets boil with magma and light, set aglow by the swelling heat of red giants. Entropy searches through every system, ours to harvest and bend to our will. With each passing day, our empire grows richer, stronger, unstoppable. We have consumed the galaxy and remade it as a blazing beacon of our dominion in the void, and one day, perhaps, we'll cast other galaxies onto the pyre. In the end, all fires join to become one. So we won the game, basically. We just need to see if the Unbeaten survives or not, but that's gonna be fun. We have a fleet of 6 million. Yeah, pretty good. Let's see now. Oh boy. Everyone disappears, and it's just us, the contingency, and the League of Greylout because they are infernals as well. So I can't believe it. Now it is pretty much a 1v1 of us against the Unbeaten. Who is the strongest crisis in the game? We'll have to see. I'll leave that for the next episode, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun recording it. And as always, Commanders, I'll see you guys next time.